Hey guys, I am Raj. I am the well-being editor at Mike.com, and it is my ultimate pleasure to host the inaugural edition of Look What I Made. It is our show for newly minted chefs because we are all chefs during the quarantine. We are locked down. Our energy is everywhere, and a lot of us are experimenting in the kitchen. So that's a really joyful thing. It's the bread baking is popping. The alcohol that goes along with it is can be really joyful. But today we're gonna focus on new recipes that you can try that can keep you excited and keep you innovative in the kitchen. Every week, we're going to feature a chef, a real chef, not, you and me, people that have gone to culinary school and are very successful, to come on and join me and talk about different recipes, comfort food, and what brings them joy in the kitchen. And then they're going to do a little lesson with us so we can learn a fun, easy recipe with them. So if you'll just bear with me, I'm going to do a couple of things before I start. So I just turned off the comments for now, but I really want to hear from you guys in a little bit after I have our featured guest. So I do want to introduce our guest today. She is absolutely amazing. So her name is Chef Esther Choi, and she is a restaurateur and a young Asian American chef. Just briefly, eating food that Chef Esther creates and imagines is like an ethereal culinary journey through flavors. I cannot praise it enough. I've eaten her food several times, and it is going to be a really real treat for us to have her here today. So I'm gonna bring her on, and we're gonna just have a little powwow, and then she's gonna teach us how to make something amazing. Let's find her. In the meantime, I'll give you some of my. Oh,
Oh,
there she
hi.
goes.
Oh, I
Hey,
didn't
Chef
realize.
Esther, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Good.
just like move my camera position a little.
Yes, it's looking good so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing? We are so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you
Here
so
in our
much.
lives, in our quarantine lives.
I know. And I don't think that we've ever like hung out with wine before, so this will be fun.
I'm very excited. I'm ready. I've pre-gamed, so I'm like extra excited. But I'm always amped to be around you. Yes. She's so classy, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody.
Oh no,
She's
I'm
got her
really
red.
not.
This is actually tequila, so you are very classy. Okay.
I have tequila in the corner, so if my wine is gone, I'll move on.
Okay. That's perfect. And then you can do a hangover recipe for us tomorrow.
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Awesome.
I
Um,
have a lot of those.
oh, good. We definitely need those. Chef Esther, can you start by just telling us a little bit about what your passion is, what you do? We all know a little bit about you, but can you tell us just a little bit about how you got started and where you're at right now?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Esther Choi. I'm the chef and owner of Mock Bar in New York City. We have two locations, one in Chelsea Market and then one in Brooklyn. Um, we were actually supposed to open our third location last month, but
Oh,
because of what happened, it obviously got delayed.
yeah,
We're still planning on opening that location.
yeah,
So stay tuned for that. And also, I do have a cocktail bar in the Lower East Side called Miss You.
yep.
And Miss You has been closed, but we just reopened Mock Bar for delivery this week.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
so
good to know. You know where I'll be. I think
come
you know
visit,
where I'll be.
come
Yeah.
grab some food. Or we can deliver it to you. So we're offering curbside delivery. So as long as you place your order 24 hours in advance, we can deliver it to you.
Okay. And from what I understand, you and some other chefs have been working to support the frontliners as well.
Yeah, so I partnered up with my friend at Flip Siggy, Jordan Andino, and their group, and we basically we're doing like a fundraiser together, and then with those funds, we're delivering meals. We've been doing it for about 3 to 4 weeks now, we've done over 2,000 meals,
Well,
and yeah, we just delivered like 50 meals today. Tomorrow we're doing like 50 more. So, you know, we're continuing it. But the thing is, in the beginning, I think people get excited and we get a lot of donations. But what happens is that, you know, there are a lot of organizations that are doing this, so the funds kind of get it gets slow, like
yeah,
the amount of donations that come in. So we've had to slow down our pace, unfortunately, which
yeah,
is kind of sad because there are still like over 3,000 meals in queue, like
yeah.
3,000 frontline workers still waiting in
Oh,
queue for meals. So
yeah.
yeah, so it's just, you know, we're trying to figure out how to raise more money without having to, you know, oversaturate people's feeds with like donation requests. So
Yeah. I mean,
kind
this is just a start. This helps. I think I did not know that was happening, so that's really helpful
of,
for us to know.
mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit before you start. Can you tell me about what you've been doing at home to keep a little bit of structure and peace in your life? I know for a lot of us who are consider ourselves creatives and structure gets messed up by everything that's happened. We need to, for our own mental health, like keep some kind of routine that brings us comfort. Can you tell me a little bit about yours?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like in a weird way, the quarantine is a creative mind's dream because you can kind of like do a lot of things that you've been wanting to do but kept it on, you know, the back burner or haven't gotten to it. And believe me, my list is like a mile long when it comes to these types of projects and activities. So a lot of it is still food driven. I think because for me, um, despite a lot of other stuff that I want to do, in the end, food is therapy for me as well as my profession. But in the end, coming back to why I even started, you know, my businesses and why I even started my restaurants is because I love cooking. You know, it goes back to that. So in the past few years, I haven't been really able to like cook every single day and like do all the like cooking projects and things that I wanted to do. Just because now I'm a business owner, so I have to
Yeah.
deal with a lot of other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Cooking is
Stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's kind of like, oh, you get to cook every day. That's a luxury, you know. As a restaurateur, you don't really get to do that as much anymore. So when the quarantine hit, for me, it was going right back to the stove.
Yeah.
Just like cooking every single day, cooking like a recipe or something that I've always had in my mind but haven't been able to like write out or try out or test recipes, things like that. So I made that a routine. Every day I'll wake up and go straight into my kitchen, and then it's for me like just being in the kitchen is so comforting too. And obviously with like a lot of anxiety and everything building, for me coming back into the kitchen, kind of like working, even if I'm not cooking, just like writing something, being on my laptop, or even like taking calls, like I do it all in here in my little space.
You know,
Yeah.
I think a lot about cooking as therapy, like you were talking about, and you're doing it, and you're a professional, and you've been in this for a minute. But I think so many people who have never really dabbled in cooking in this type of way are finding so much comfort in like the chopping motion and just like all of the kind of almost spiritual emotions that go into preparing a meal. And then when something turns out great, just like reveling in that moment and forgetting about other things for a minute. I think that's like between the bread baking phenomena right now and just like soups and stews, just like comfort is so important. And we're all googling recipes and trying to be like, okay, um can I do this, you know, which recipe should I use? And I want to know from you, because we're about to go with your recipe today. When you're looking up recipes as a person like me who doesn't have much experience, can you give me a little advice about how closely I should follow that? Like, should I be doing a little remixing, or is that a
Mhm.
disaster waiting to happen?
See, this is always a thing when people ask me about recipes or, you know, how to make a dish. I'm I always say learn the technique first. I mean, you can read a million recipes, right? Um, And it's great. You can follow the recipe. That's fine too. But if you learn the actual technique that goes beyond a recipe, then you can kind of start like experimenting. Then you can read like, let's say you're making, I don't know, like a pasta dish, like a very simple pasta dish, but you're reading like there's like 5 million recipes on that one specific
Right.
dish, right?
Yeah.
So how do you know which one to use?
Yeah.
I mean, right? And if you're following a recipe by T, then the rest you have to trust that that recipe is written really, really well.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it gets confusing, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it's always like, okay, learn the techniques behind certain dishes, and then from there you can kind of like make it your own or read several recipes, and then you'll kind of get a feel for it, right?
Yeah.
So cooking is really about that, you know, which is very different than baking. I would not advise this for baking, but
Yeah.
like when you're cooking, it's really learning the techniques behind a certain dish and then kind of making it your own or reading several, and then you can kind of figure out what is a good recipe and what is not a good recipe. And honestly, the only way to really do that is to actually just start cooking. And that's the thing. Like I know cooking can be intimidating for people that don't cook that often, but you just have to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And practice makes perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just gotta get your hands dirty. You can make mistakes. That's fine. Just do it again, right? You can keep trying.
Yeah.
That's why we're in quarantine, because you have all this time to keep trying a new recipe. Right?
It's such a simple thing to say, but it's actually, I needed to be told that. Last week I made an apple pear pie that was like a bit of a disaster. And then but it was like still mush and still delicious. But I was like, fuck this, I'm never doing this again. And my partner was like, no, you got this, try it again. And I'm like, the same thing again? And he's like, try it again. I did it again, and I hate to really toot my own horn, but it was amazing. Okay,
see, like you realize like what you did wrong,
mm-hmm.
you fixed it the next time, and then
Yeah.
it just gets better and better and better.
Yeah.
You can't just like give up because you messed up once. You know what I mean? A mess up is good. You actually learn more from messing up.
I mean, it's demoralizing, but like, it's if you're not a cook and we don't think about that. Actually, a recipe takes time to learn. You're not gonna just be like the rat from Ratatouille overnight, just like creating magic. You know?
Yeah. Do you know what? Like chefs mess up all the time. Like believe it or not, you just don't see it. Yeah. But like sometimes I have to cook a recipe 10 times to get it right.
Yeah.
Especially because I want to be creative with my dishes. So I'm not going to follow a recipe. I'm going to try to make it my own. And then I will mess up over and over and over again. But if you just give up, then, you know, all that work that you put in the first place goes nowhere. So you got to just keep trying. You know, practice makes perfect.
We are going to get the fruits of that labor, of your hard work today. Let's get into it. Can you tell us what you're going to be making with us today?
All right. So we're going to be making a very quintessential Korean dish called japchae. But of course, I'm gonna do like my own twist. Japchae is like a noodle dish that's usually made with sweet potato noodles. So they're like the glass noodles that are like super chewy. Okay. And it's like marinated in soy sauce, like sesame oil, sugar, and then a bunch of veggies are sauteed and added in there. Sometimes a protein, usually beef, or I mean sometimes seafood like shrimp or whatever. So you can kind of use whatever protein you want. And even with the vegetables, it's super flexible. You can kind of use whatever vegetables you have on hand. And today I don't have any glass noodles, but I have pasta. So I'm going to make this dish with pasta. Okay. So it's kind of like my quarantine version of japchae. And I feel like it's a great recipe that anyone can make without having to go to like a Asian grocery store.
Okay. Can you pronounce that for me one more time?
Japchae.
Japchae. Did I do it? Okay.
Yes.
I keep pronouncing.
Have you ever had this dish before, Raj?
What'd you say?
Have you had this dish before?
Do you have it at Mock Bar? Because I've eaten everything on the menu at Mock.
I don't have it at Mock Bar.
Okay, I haven't had it before, so I'm ready. Let's do this.
It's like a very traditional Korean dish. So if you go to like Koreatown, you'll see it everywhere.
Okay.
But I feel like more modern Korean restaurants don't have this on their menu just because it's kind of like
old school.
Yeah, it's pretty old school. It's like what you would eat at your grandma's house, and usually people like to make this for like a big celebration, like New Year's Day or like Christmas or a holiday, something like that.
Yeah. I think right now we all want what we'd eat at our grandma's house. Like I need that in my life right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, show us your magic. Let's do it.
Okay. So we're gonna first start with making the sauce and marinade for the dish because we do have to marinate our beef. So I want that to get going. So I apologize. I'm like but I want to get that going before we do anything else. Okay. So I'm just gonna show you my quick like sauce station over here, and this is my rice cooker that I love.
Ooh, I like it.
So it's a real simple sauce. So soy sauce is like the main salt in this dish.
Okay.
And it is a very soy based dish, so we're gonna go ahead and add half a cup of soy sauce. Good amount.
Okay. And
this sauce is kind of like your traditional Korean barbecue sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's what we'd come across in Koreatown, or just like, you know, if we went to a restaurant.
Yeah. So when you're like marinating like Korean barbecue, this is kind of like your the sweet soy marinade.
Okay. So can I ask you, is that like the authentic sauce if I was in Korea? Because I know like American Asian food is very different. Same with Indian food. Like, is this the same thing?
It's pretty much the same. It's pretty much the same. It's like some sort of soy sauce, sesame oil, and some sugar component. And everyone everyone has a different recipe for a tomato sauce. This is kind of like everyone has their own version of like a Korean barbecue sauce, and this is just my version of it. Okay, so we added some soy sauce, sesame oil. I'm gonna go in with mirin, which is like a sweet rice cooking wine.
Yes.
So I'm gonna add that, and then I like adding fish sauce. Mm-hmm. And you can totally leave this out, but I really think that fish sauce gives this like real depth and umami flavor.
Right.
That I really, really love. And I actually love adding fish sauce to like my marinades.
Can you just, for those who aren't in the know what umami entails, like what flavor that is exactly?
Umami is like your sixth sense on your tongue. So it's like that note that has all of the saltiness, sweetness, like acid, all of that combined, and it just I can't, you know what I mean? Like it's like very deep flavor, deep.
Yeah. Okay,
I'm adding some garlic, right, and then some sugar. I know I'm eyeballing this, but we do have a recipe that I sent you, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So it's that simple. It was that simple. So, soy sauce, sesame oil, fish sauce, mirin, garlic, and sugar.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
It needs a little bit more sugar. So.
I'm always afraid to add sugar to things that are not necessarily very sweet, but I feel like it's such an important component to bring out the other flavors. Am I right?
Very important. Very. I always say you have to add a little bit of sugar and salt to everything, even if it's like the tiniest pinch, because it balances out everything else, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So just taste it, of course, because some people like things like saltier or sweeter, and I always encourage everyone to keep tasting your food as you cook. I feel like people don't do that, which I don't understand why, and I'm always like, to my cooks, I'm like, did you taste it? And they're like, no, and I'm like, then how do you know? You have to taste your food.
I don't know why. I don't taste it either, but I think it's just human inclination to not be
People are just like not used to it, I guess. But okay, so there we go. That's our marinade, right? Super simple.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this over here with you. Okay. I'm back. All right, so these are my basic ingredients. Can you see everything?
Yes, so colorful and beautiful.
Yeah, this dish is really beautiful. I mean, I love it because it's super colorful. And in Korean cuisine, it's something called like 5-color meals or 8-color meals. So it's like you need like all of these different colors to make the meal complete. It's like a very traditional royal, like back when people used to cook for the kings and queens, like that was always like a very important component in Korean food.
Yeah.
So that's why Korean food is very, very, very colorful.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here I have some ribeye that I just sliced into strips. It's just like a regular ribeye steak, but you can use like filet mignon, you can use skirt steak, you can use whatever cut you have. And you can also like use chicken if you want to use chicken, like whatever you can use whatever you want.
Cool.
So whatever protein you have, and then half of this marinade is gonna go into the steak mixture, and we're just gonna marinate that while we prepare all the other ingredients. Right.
So that doesn't need to sit for that long necessarily.
Not this, yeah. So what I would do is while you're prepping all of your vegetables, like this should be the first step that you do, so that it can marinate for as long as possible. Obviously, if you do this the day before, better. But for my sake, I didn't do it yesterday, so I'm just doing it now. And I wanted to show you. So, but it doesn't really have to marinate for that long, you know. But obviously, if you have the time, the flavor will build as it marinates longer. But I would say like at least 15, 20 minutes is fine. Okay, so meat has been marinating. So this is your Korean barbecue. So if you were to just like marinate this and grill this, it would just be like Korean barbecue, right? Very, very easy. Okay. Then I already did all this knife work so that you guys didn't have to like wait for me to like do all this, but I'm just gonna bring this over and show you. Can you see everything? I have an onion that's been sliced, carrot that's been julienne, some bell peppers, and then this is just scallion cut into like 2-inch pieces, and then I have some spinach.
Okay.
Let me see. Spinach that I blanched and then kind of squeezed out the liquid, so it's kind of like in this form. I would say if you have baby spinach, you don't have to blanch it. But if your spinach is like the big bundle, that's kind of like super tough.
Literally salivating right now because you said Korean
already. It's just vegetables.
Barbecue. When I'm hungry.
All right. Okay. So yeah, so if you have baby spinach, you do not have to blanch it, but because we are using kind of like a woodier spinach, I did pre-blanch it just to soften it up a little bit. I'm just going to give it a quick rough chop so it's not like large strands of spinach. And that's pretty much it. Oh, actually, I forgot. I do have shiitake mushrooms that are dried. This is just what I had in the pantry, but you can use any fresh mushroom that you want. Okay, so you can use any mushroom you want. I always have dried shiitakes in my pantry because for me this is like a pantry staple. Because I'm Korean, and Koreans love shiitake mushrooms and like everything. But what I'm doing is I'm just I rehydrated the dried mushrooms and then now I'm gonna slice it thin. Okay. I mean, it's a relatively simple dish, but it just takes a little bit of time to prep, like do all the knife work. I would say that's like your hardest part, but you can use any vegetable that you have in your pantry. Okay. Okay, so shiitake mushrooms, getting a slice. Right. And there we go. And then lastly, I have some eggs, which we're just gonna whisk. What we're gonna do with the eggs, we're gonna make an egg omelet for garnish. Great. And this, Koreans love putting this like egg omelet garnish on everything. which is really, really easy to do, and the color really pops, so I like using the egg.
Yeah.
And also everyone has eggs in their pantry, so it's always a nice addition. All right, there we go. So there we go. Our mise en place is gonna get cooking. Okay. So I'm gonna move this over to the stove. Can you see everything? Can you see?
What'd you say?
You good?
I missed that.
I'm asking. You can see everything? Great. Okay. So this is a pot of boiling salted water for a pasta. And I'm just using spaghetti, but you can use angel hair. You can kind of use like whatever you want. Honestly, I just feel like angel hair or spaghetti is like thin enough, and it kind of mimics that japchae feel. So that is why I'm using spaghetti.
Okay.
And then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna saute each of the vegetables in stages. Okay, and maybe this is better. I don't know. I'm trying to like do this so that you can see my face and see the other skillet. This is so easy. And what we're going to do is every vegetable cooks differently in different times. So we're not going to like just add everything in. We're going to, and let's start with the onion. And I have a sheet tray here because as I saute each vegetable, I'm going to just like put them on the sheet tray. So onion, and to be honest, Raj, I live alone, and this is probably just going to be for myself. So I'm probably going to make a half batch because I don't know who's going to eat like a whole pound of pasta. Right? I mean, you probably don't have this problem because.
Listen, no judgment in quarantine, okay?
Which is why I try not to make
I eat everything that I make
because I end up eating it all, and then I'm just like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Exactly.
I know, but then I do like half a mile of a jog, and it's all
right,
forgotten.
So this is relatively simple. We're just like cooking everything in stages. And then at the end, we'll put everything in the pot, add the pasta, and pretty much it. We haven't even done anything.
It looks so good already.
You know what? I wish I could do.
I'm excited. Listen, I'm real hungry right now. I will eat anything you put in front of me.
Paste it together.
I know. So I just want to ask a question.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter.
First, right? That's like
it doesn't really matter. If there's no
the most heat
first or second
at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want it to be brown, but I kind of like it still a little bit crunchy. So I'm not gonna cook it for that long.
Sure.
What have you been doing during quarantine?
Besides cooking and eating, let me think. I'm working a lot. That's been nice, but essentially doing things around the house, a lot of nesting, a lot of really. I've fallen down a cult documentary hole,
really
so
dark.
a lot of like cult documentaries.
Why?
Like dark to make me forget about other dark stuff. I don't know. I have a theory that psychologically, if I think
like
about something dark that's unrelated to the darkness that's happening right now, it's a distraction. You feel me?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I just watched.
But also, I've been watching like
because I like needed something super like lighthearted the other day, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot how good this movie is.
Oh my god. Yeah.
What? What?
Okay, Esther, I will beg to like differ on that. That movie is terrifying.
Oh my god,
a fish lost their child. So. That's a really scary movie. Is it just me? Listen, I will find terrifying things about Disney movies and then watch cult documentaries and be okay with it. But I'm glad you are enjoying them. That's all that matters. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
you know if you want to watch another like under the sea movie that's actually really light, it's like Shark's Tale. Shark's Tale, that's a really good one. It's I highly
you can
really
ask me questions all day.
Do you mind if I ask you another question while you're doing this for the viewers? Okay. Okay, yes. So this is not just a cooking lesson to me. This is like a lesson in the hustle too, because you're in the restaurant business, like you've been doing this for a minute. I heard a story that you used to sell candy on the playground as a child when you were 8 years old. You were that kid that was like, "Yo, I got that hookup with the candy." Okay, so the hustle has been in you for a very long time. A lot of us are feeling like kind of demoralized right now with the economic repercussions of this pandemic. Can you give us a little motivation as far as like how to get on your feet?
You know what? Everyone,
even if you're feeling like damn, I don't, right I'm not on top right now.
It's just the reality of what's going on. But I don't know, not to sound so cliche, but you have to just stay positive, honestly. If you just like sulk in your own misery, you're not going to get anything done. So like for me, it's more like, oh my gosh, this is happening. What more can I do?
Yeah.
Right? Like, what more can I do? And I think this is a part of me where I feel like creativity is very important because I like being creative and I always try to think of ways to keep my mind occupied. And that's always been like super helpful for me. And hey, listen, I have to close all of my restaurants. I have 0 revenue stream. I used to have like 6 revenue streams. You know what I mean? But it's okay. You know what I mean? It's fine. Like we're gonna get through it. And it's just like keeping positive and feeling like you just have to continue and not give up. I don't know. What more can you do? It's out of your control. You just have to let it go.
Yeah. From Finding Nemo.
And I just watched that movie, and when that part came out, I was like,
it's kind of like just keep swimming, like Dory, you know? Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel like I tend to give myself a period of time to like bitch and moan about things. And then I'm like, all right, that time period is over. I got to start like trying to do some stuff again.
Yeah.
And I think, if you can find that energy.
I'm the type of person that thrives in positive energy. So like, of course, I'm still human and I do get into those, times in my day where I'm just like super anxious and I feel isolated and it's really, really stressful. And then I just like think of all the good things that I have and that, I accomplish and what I can continue on doing. And then it's all good, right? You have a glass of wine, then you eat something really good. It's like honestly, a lot worse can always happen.
Yeah. And I follow you on Instagram, and I always see pictures of you and the Frenchies, like your pets and things like that. I feel like a lot of us have been, like, people with pets have been like relying on them to keep us going.
Like
I mean, that's been a thing for me too. Just like cuddling with your pets, it's been kind of nice. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. New York is such an amazing place. It's just kind of crazy to see a lot of it, especially the restaurants kind of like shut down right now, or these places where we congregate with each other. Um, it's 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 kind of just hard to see all of that, but I
You know
can't
what?
wait
And you
till
just kind of
we're at
think
the
like
next step
we've
and
been
we can
taking a lot of things
like
for granted,
physically be with each other again
like
and
the
share
entire
these
time,
flavors, you
right?
know?
And just like other people. And for me,
Mm.
I was at the point where I would just
Yeah.
kind of get like angry a lot, and
Yeah.
in terms of like, I just get so. When you're in hospitality and you're like around people 24/7, and it's just it becomes a lot. And I think at a certain point, I was just like so over it, like in terms of like meeting people all the time. I just kind of like wanted to be alone all the time. And now, how funny is that?
Yeah.
I'm literally alone all the time, and then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
like took all of that for granted. And so it's like a realization, and it's like a learning lesson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely, for sure. I want to ask you a little more about food. Can you tell me what other foods bring you comfort right now and always? I know I've read a lot about, things you've learned from your grandma and your
Wait,
elders,
so
but
was
can you
that
tell
two
me a
separate
little bit
questions?
about like
Are you
food
asking about
traditions
my
for you?
traditions, or are you asking about like what other foods I like?
Oh, I want like a
Well,
beautiful, perfect amalgamation
I
of
do
both of those.
obviously have the
I know they're related. Are they not related?
have the background of like cooking with
Okay.
my grandmother, and she basically raised me and my siblings while my parents were out working every single day. And obviously, she always wanted to cook Korean food because that's what she missed from home. And that's what I grew up eating, which is why I have such a deep down love for traditional Korean food. But I'm also American, so I grew up with like a lot of things like grilled cheese and hamburgers and just like American food. So I do crave that as well, like all the time. So it's like a combination of both, and sometimes what I end up making is like, depending on what I'm craving, it just becomes like a like a mashup of like every cuisine possible. I'm like, what did I just make right now? And sometimes that does happen. Yeah. Raj, I'm just gonna tell you that all my vegetables, as you see here,
it works. It totally works.
Are sautéed and beautiful, right? Yeah, and it's just you saw what I did. I literally just sautéed it for like 2 to 3 minutes.
They look amazing.
I'm gonna add my pasta to the boiling water.
Okay.
I'm using spaghetti. I wish I had angel hair, but I unfortunately don't have.
What kind of are you using?
Sorry.
Okay.
Is it really loud? Can you like hear my vent? You're good?
I think it'll work just fine.
Okay, so I'm just gonna make one portion.
No,
like
it's totally fine.
Kind of half a pound, kind of.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add that salted boiling water. Add a little bit more. Add a lot of these veggies, and then meanwhile, while the pasta cooks, which is gonna cook for about like 8 minutes, I'm gonna make my omelet that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a very specific way. I have this like amazing omelet pan because it makes like the perfect like square omelet. I love it. Very Asian.
Okay.
Huh? Yeah. It's very, very Asian. I got it on Amazon.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. Nice. While you're doing that, I'm going to open the comments up just to see if anyone else has any questions about your process. But keep going. Ooh. Okay.
They are. It's because
omelets are harder than they
not
appear.
as
I
easy as people think.
feel like that's true, right?
Especially if you want your egg perfect. And the key to like making these like little omelet garnishes is like making sure your heat is at the exact temperature that you want. So we don't want the heat to be too high because then it'll burn, because you don't want any dark spots on your omelet. You want it to be perfectly, beautifully yellow. So I feel like that's what people always make a mistake of with eggs is heat control. My what?
Yeah.
My square pan.
There are people lusting over your square pan in the comments right now.
Amazing. Like, you don't understand.
They're lusting over the square pan.
I'm obsessed with it. It was only like $15.
True.
What was that?
People also want to know.
Oh man.
People
also
want to know if you have any plans to open a restaurant in LA.
I shouldn't say that because I'm a New Yorker, right? I gotta. Oh no! You know what I mean? It's because like so many of my friends
thoroughly betrayed right now.
Move to LA, and I'm just like, what's going on? I do love LA, and I would love to open a restaurant in LA, and I will one day. But unfortunately, because of the pandemic, my plans have gotten semi. Sorry guys, I just have to concentrate on this. So I use the chopstick to flip the omelet. I know. I mean, you don't have to do it like this. Like if you're doing this at home, just make an omelet and make it as easy as possible. Like it's not a big deal.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm fine.
It was a panic, the ship is sinking moment. But keep going, don't stop.
We're almost done, you guys. We're almost
I had a question about what cooking oil you use for Korean cooking.
I love using sesame oil. I'm obsessed. Like I put way too much sesame oil in everything. It's like my guilty pleasure, but I feel like a lot of Koreans can agree. I don't know why, but so many people in America or like the West, they say don't use so much sesame oil. A little goes a long way. I don't think that's true at all.
We use it in
Korean cuisine. A lot goes a long way.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I love sesame oil. So basically, we're about getting to the end. I don't want my pasta to like overcook. So what we're gonna do is the marinated meat. I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking that. See that? Smells so good. So this is like my Korean barbecue meat. Basically, ribeye that we marinated at the beginning of this, right?
Yeah.
So that's just gonna saute like really, really quick, like probably I don't know, a few minutes, so it's nice and brown. And while that's
perfect.
Brown, I'm gonna test my get all this steak. Nice brown color. Now when it's almost brown, it's like very caramelized and beautiful. I'm gonna go in and add my vegetables, the ones that we sauteed. Now you can kind of just eat that by itself. I feel like that's even so good by itself. And at this point, check on our pasta. A little longer, like 2 minutes. Raj, I can't hear you again. Are you talking? No?
Okay, third time is the charm.
Hey.
I'm sorry, third time's the charm. Let's do this.
You're good. I just have to go ahead and add my pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just show you guys a close-up of what's going on here because it's smelling so good.
Oh my God, that looks amazing. Anyone in the audience want to ask more questions? Now's your time. We got it for a few more minutes.
All right. So you see what's happening here? Oh my God, I'm making a mess.
I do. Sauce and spices.
And then at this point, you know our leftover marinade, I'm gonna add some to here.
Perfect.
The extra sauce.
Okay.
So added that.
Esther, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I had a question come in about if there's a way to make this gluten-free.
You can use gluten-free pasta.
That's
or
the only.
if you do find like the Korean sweet potato noodles that are usually what's used in here,
Yeah.
that some of those are gluten-free.
Okay.
So.
Perfect. Thank you.
So you see, I added a little bit more soy sauce.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm gonna add? I'm gonna add a tiny bit of pasta water to this.
Okay.
Tiny bit of the pasta water.
What does the pasta water do?
So the pasta water is very starchy, so it'll help like the sauce really like stick to the pasta. And
Okay.
it'll create this like very creamy, delicious sauce. And then it looks good, all incorporated. And then at this point, this is like my favorite part, which is very not traditional in Korean japchae. I'm gonna add a bit of butter.
Oh my God, this is my favorite part.
Butter.
Yes, this is a universal moment for all of us.
Yeah. And then a little bit of lemon.
Okay.
And that is not traditional at all. But
okay.
It's so necessary because we're in the end it's a pasta dish, right?
Right. Well, the people are loving it.
Yeah, you just kind of like let that melt in there, kind of all come together. So you see all the vegetables, all the beef. And then what I did is I did leave a little bit of the vegetables behind, and I'm gonna add that back in. So the reason why I did that is because I still want the vibrant color,
right?
Vegetable, but when you're like cooking it, it kind of loses that. So now I can go ahead and add that back in.
Perfect.
And let it all get like heated through. Dude, I'm salivating right now.
It looks. You're not the only one. It looks amazing.
Like I know I made it, but damn.
Oh my God, it's so great. You know, I know you could use anything for that, but beef is so beautiful just like for adding its own kind of mouthfeel to a pasta dish.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like pasta doesn't always have to be like a traditional pasta dish. Pasta could be like, you could use like Asian ingredients or Indian ingredients. Or,
right.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's so like it could be very, very delicious. Because in the end, pasta is just a noodle.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I put like garam masala in meatballs, so you know I'd be improvising. That looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that ratio looks perfect too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna taste it real quick just for seasoning, just to make sure I have the right seasoning. I'm just gonna get a piece of that beef, and then we're gonna plate it, and then we're pretty much done. I just wanna check.
Oh man, I'm so jealous right now. I am making this, you guys. A plus.
Wow, I know I made it, but that's really good.
Listen, you gotta love yourself first, okay, and then everyone else follows.
Oh, so good! Wow. Okay.
That looks amazing. And for everyone out there, we're going to share the recipe with you. It looked like something we could all handle. So I hope we all
was it that easy?
Yes. I mean, easy is that's a generous word. I think it's doable for me. I think it's doable for a lot of us.
Okay, so not easy. It's doable.
Easy for you.
Okay, can I just show you real quick the garnish? Because
yes,
remember that
please.
omelet that we made?
Yeah.
So this is just like a regular omelet, you guys. And what I'm just gonna do is, this is 2 layers. And what I'm gonna do is roll it up. And you don't have to do this, but I just feel like it looks nice. And then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna slice it really thin. This is a very traditional garnish in Korean food.
Mm-hmm.
Like Koreans put this on top of every like noodle dish for some reason. It's like a thing.
I mean, that's that good protein too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really pretty, right?
Yeah.
It's really pretty. All right, so I'm gonna plate now, and I'll bring my pasta over here so you can see it. There we go, you guys, right? Our japchae pasta that we made. And I'm just gonna do a quick plate, which
Oh my God.
I was like, I'm just making this for myself. Look at this portion.
Listen, it's important. This is a part of self-care. You have to plate.
Like, why? This always happens to me. Just do a tiny bit more.
Wow. I'm living for this. This is like ASMR.
Okay, and then we got like all the vegetables that you can't forget about, because that's kind of your, I feel like the best part of the dish is all the crunchy like vegetables. Like, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So
It will also keep us alive. Yeah.
yes, but balance, right? It's all about balance.
Yep.
I've done like steak. You know what? I'm gonna use chopsticks because I'm over the sauce. Okay. Can you see me plating this?
Yes. It is exquisite, mon chéri.
All right. So I'm gonna try to show you over here. Move my omelet. Right, and then I'm just gonna do the omelet thing right on top. It looks nice.
Beautiful.
And then one last thing. I just have some fresh scallions that's been sliced. Really
Love
thin.
it.
And obviously this is a little fancy. You don't have to do that, but I just think it looks nice. And
No, we all deserve it. We all deserve it right now.
And then some sesame seeds.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Oh my God. Can you bring that close to the camera so we can all just salivate together? Oh my God. Yes.
And this is one of those things. So do we eat this with a fork or do we eat it with a chopstick?
I think you just got to stick your head in there and just go all the way in.
So this is the japchae pasta, and it looks like japchae. It just straight up looks like that traditional Korean dish, but it's actually made with pasta.
I am answering that right now in the comments.
Okay.
Love it. Okay.
Right, so all the vegetables, all the colors, you see like all the different colors. I feel like that's really important. And that's great. I'm gonna, I guess, take a bite because.
Oh, that is stunning, Esther. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So amazing. So amazing. And for everybody out there, Esther, can you tell us your Instagram one more time so we can follow you?
Yes, my Instagram is Choi Bites, CHOI Bites, which
You about to bite right now. And we are going to get everybody that recipe. This is Look What I Made. We have the best and brightest on the planet with us here today. And oh my God. Oh, you know what? I have to go, guys, because I want to go make that right now. And
Good.
I have these things in my pantry. So let's do this.
You
Thank you
have all
so
the
much.
ingredients?
I have everything except the fresh scallions, but I think that warrants like a safe supermarket trip because I can't live without scallions in my house anyway.
Oh. But you
Yeah.
don't need to add that if you don't want to.
No, listen, you put it on top. It was magic. I cannot deviate. So I'm going to do it. Do you have anything else you want to leave the world with?
I guess not. I hope everyone gives it a try. It's really good.
We're better now. I think I can speak for us. We're better now. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I will see you next week. And Esther, I'm going to see you real soon because I will be there to pick up some food.
Okay, let me know.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.